Welcome to Bed Crime Stories podcast. I'm your host, T. If you enjoy all things true crime and you like it delivered in a calm, rational manner and not all the drama, then I suggest you subscribe. And after watching and listening to this video, if you find you enjoyed it or learned something, please consider a membership here or on Patreon. You can also help the channel by smashing that like button. As they say, like, share, subscribe. And now, without further ado, let's get started. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I hope you guys are all doing great. Vinnie Politan went live yesterday, and he focused on Stephan Sterns and the money. Politan was struck by what Stephan's parents, Debbie and Chris Sterns, said about Stephan's excessive spending when they did the interview with Hidden True Crime. Take a listen.
Now they're all...
She could still be charged for.
Yeah. Well, ask yourself the big question, the really big question out there. All of that stuff on the computer, all of that stuff on his phone, all of the money that was coming in by the handfuls and the way they were spending it. Where did it come from? And could she, obviously she also participated in spending the money. So do you think she was at all culpable?
We don't know that.
Don't know.
We're very suspicious that there was some sort of enterprise going on, and of course the police won't tell us anything about that. That was one conversation or question I had with them, and it almost sounded like they acknowledged Stephan and eliminating Jenn, but something definitely was going on, and I haven't been able to figure that out, but I feel there's something else out there.
Debbie and Chris Sterns have been trying to implicate Madeline Soto's mother, Jenn, in the crime. So we have to keep that in mind. But did you hear Debbie say the big question, the really big question out there, all of that stuff on the computer, all of that stuff on his phone, all of the money that was coming in by the handfuls, and the way they were spending it? Where did it come from? And could she, obviously she also participated in spending the money. I'm pretty sure the they Debbie is referring to is Jenn Soto and Stephan. It would appear that Debbie is saying both Stephan and Jenn were spending lavishly. We know Stephan stole money from his parents. Jenn Soto has said that. His parents have said that. But the parents seem to be implying that Stephan spent more than the money he took from them. So where did Stephan, and maybe Jenn too, get all this money? Stephan's recent employment history sounds pretty much non-existent. It seems safe to say he didn't earn the money, at least not at a 9-to-5 job. It's a slight jump over a puddle to imagine that maybe Stephan was making money off of all of the CP he had on his Google Drive and on the thumb drives that his father turned into the police. More than 35,000 images of CP were found. I've been speculating for some time that Stephan was maybe making money off of those images. We know he had an account on Telegram. Telegram is a cloud-based messaging app known for its focus on speed, security, and privacy. It allows users to send text messages, voice messages, photos, videos, and files of various types, as well as create groups and channels for broadcasting content. One of its major features is end-to-end encryption for secret chats, which ensures that only the sender and the receiver can read the messages. And apparently even the FBI can't hack into this. Telegram would offer someone like Stephan a way to buy and sell CP without getting busted. As I listened to Vinnie Politan talk about Stephan, all his purchasing, and what his mother Debbie implied about Jenn possibly having extra spending money as well, I thought back to something Jenn said in her videotaped interrogation with the cops. This was from her interview on February 28th, 2 days after Madeline was reported missing and before she was found.
Where we called his dad, I started saying to him, like, I think they're focusing in on you. Like, we need to call your dad, and I think we need to get you a lawyer. I feel like they're focusing on the wrong person. And he kept saying the same thing. He kept repeating what I was repeating. That they're focusing on the wrong person. They're wasting time.
How did he feel when you said he needs a lawyer?
He didn't believe me. Like, when I told him, like, don't you see forensics is closing down the house? They know something, or there's something, like, they know something. Something's happening. They wouldn't be locking down the house this way if they didn't have suspicions of something.
Did you hear Jenn say, like, they know something, something's happening? They wouldn't be locking down the house this way if they didn't have suspicions of something. Now, that could be a perfectly innocent comment, or it could have been a slip of the tongue. As in, maybe they've figured out that you've been SAing Maddie, and we've been selling the images and the videos. Now, this is me speculating. I don't know this for a fact. Jenn made it clear in this same interview that she didn't think that the SA that she witnessed in the photo that they showed her of Maddie, that stuff was evil. She thought doing away with Maddie was evil, but not the SA stuff. Jenn just didn't seem to think that the SA stuff was a big deal.
Because at that point, you became more worried about him being falsely accused than any... Does that make sense what I'm saying? Whether or not that's what you felt, does that make sense? People having lawyers is their constitutional right. That is a thing that everybody is afforded. But for somebody who's going through what you are going through, to offer him a lawyer leads me to believe that there may have been a conversation, there may have been knowledge, or there may have been some inclination that you had, whether it be his involvement, her location, or something to where in your mind there's guilt.
I promise you, like,
Because you offering him a lawyer is very weird.
I know. That was still me under the assumption that, I think at one point you guys interviewed me, and when you guys showed me the picture of her, I believed the stuff, but I didn't want to believe that he had done anything evil to her. I'm like, no, what if he did this stuff fine, but what if she's still missing out there? What if somebody took her? I still wanted to believe in I believed him. I believed his whole story. So I was just like, I kept repeating that part. I was like, what if she did get dropped off?
Did you hear Jenn say, when you guys shared the picture of her with me, I believed the SEX stuff, but I didn't want to believe he had done anything evil to her. Clearly, Jenn doesn't associate Stephan SAing Maddie as something evil. And what I'm wondering is, could Jenn's point of view on this be because she had long ago gotten used to the idea of Stephan SAing Maddie and thinking it wasn't damaging her daughter in any serious or lasting way? She didn't think it was evil. Maybe she views it all as a natural act between people wanting to show affection, to cuddle. We know Jenn didn't think it was weird or unusual for her, Stephan, and Maddie to share a bed. I mean, most parents seeing photos of what was done to Maddie would have been shocked. They would have been destroyed by this knowledge, but not Jenn. The only thing that makes sense to me is either Stephan had groomed Jenn into thinking this physical interaction with Maddie was okay and did not constitute SA, or Jenn knew it was SA and allowed it because maybe it brought in badly needed money. This is pure speculation. We don't know this, so don't take that as fact. To me, in many ways, Jenn comes across as someone who was checked out on life, struggling with her mental health, and probably struggling to pay the bills as well. Could this have led her into allowing a bad guy into her and her child's life because he showed interest in both her and Maddie. Maybe Stephan found a way to make money without having to go and actually do a 9-to-5 job. We know that both Stephan and Jenn supposedly suffer from anxiety. Jenn's ex-husband said that it wasn't unusual for Jenn not to attend family gatherings because she felt overwhelmed by all of that activity, all the people. It gave her anxiety. Maybe going to a 9-to-5 job also would give her anxiety. And to get out of that, she would do pretty much anything. And this could also be a way to justify what was going on with Maddie. It's a means to an end. It gets us out of having to go out into the world and have to interact with people and have to commit to a 9-to-5 job. Maybe Jenn also loved having Stephan around because he would spend time with Maddie, which would free up time for Jenn to do things that she wanted to do, like take a nap, sleep. Another element is that it sounds like Jenn did not have a stellar relationship with her own mother, Yolanda. And we know that one of Maddie's friends told the police, I believe, that Maddie had told her that when she turned 18, her mother had said she was going to kick her out of the house. Most parents get upset at the thought of being empty nesters. If what this friend told the police is true, then Jenn was looking forward to getting Maddie out of the house. I say that Jenn didn't have a great relationship with her mother, Yolanda, based on several things. One, on the night that Jenn and Stephan were kicked out of the townhome for the forensics team to come in and process it, she didn't feel that she could go and stay at her mother's house. Now, she said it was because her mother doesn't like Stephan. But you'd think under these extreme circumstances where your child is missing, that her mother would have said, "Fine, come over here. Please stay at my house. You need some support right now." But that's not what happened. Jenn and Stephan had to stay in a hotel, and I believe Stephan's father had to pay the bill. Jenn might have paid for a portion of the hotel. I'm not sure. There's some differing opinions on that, so I just want to put that out there. Now, Jenn also had an online journal/blog back in 2009, 2010. And in that blog, she revealed her feelings about her mother at the time. I'm going to read you one of her entries from May 29th of 2009. I'm going to have to leave out some of the words you'll see when they come up. She's got a bit of a potty mouth. Like Chris Sterns, he also has a potty mouth. Okay, so this entry is from May 29th of 2009. She wrote it at 7:54 p.m. I know, I'm probably the most indecisive person you know, but do you really need to tear me down like that? I've decided I'm doing this for me, and all you do is spread your negativity about it. I'm on a strict diet because I need to make weight by Tuesday. You know this. So what do? Make effing steak and tell me how delicious it is. Don't you want this? Yes, I effing do. Why the F would you shove that shit in my face, biatch? Also, you telling me I'm going to fail doesn't make me feel any better. This is why I moved out in the first place. This is how you are, and I can't stand it. Thanks, Mom, for not being there for me when I need you the most. What am I talking about, really? I've decided to join the U.S. Navy, and she wants me to fail. Thanks for being number one, Mom. But you know what? I'm doing this for me, to better myself, and I will prove you wrong. End quote. Ironically, Jenn also failed Maddie when she needed her most. What I'm trying to say is Jenn only had her relationship with her mother to use as a guide for how to be a mother herself to Maddie. Maybe the women in this family don't have stellar relationships. Maybe the daughters don't feel nurtured by their mothers or protected by their mothers. So maybe Jenn didn't view her role as Maddie's mother as the most important role she would ever play in life. Maybe she just viewed it as something she had to do and try to get through it until Maddie turned 18 and she could boot her out of the house. When you're struggling with mental health, when you don't have a lot of money, when you maybe don't have great self-esteem, when you don't have a stellar role model, and I'm not saying this for a fact, I don't know if Yolanda was or was not a good role model for Jenn. Again, I'm speculating, but these could all be reasons why Jenn might think it's okay to go into an enterprise with Stephan Sterns for what she may have viewed as easy money and a lot of money. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you next time on Bed Crime Stories. Please smash that like button on the way out if you enjoyed this.